Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me and see me?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Great. We're going to start with what is scheduled for today, and we're going to be looking at various structures that exist. Okay. I think very recently in one of the previous sessions, we also discussed the differentiation between much and many. And also at that point of time, I also introduced the concept of a lot. I hope the ones who were in the previous session remember that. Today, I'm going to be taking that one step forward. We're going to be looking at various other structures like too much, too many, enough, not enough, and very. When do we use them? Where do we use them? And how do we use them? Just allow me a minute. Okay. A quick question for everyone before we move forward from here. Give me an example of an article, a determiner, and a quantifier. And all of you are also free to take a look at these examples and tell me which noun has been used with an article, which one with a determiner, and which with a quantifier. Anyone?
Ma'am, the and a are articles.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Ma'am,
Yes.
that and those are determiners.
Mm-hmm. Determiners. Yes, Arushi, thank you. Anyone else?
Many more, much are quantifiers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, many more are quantifiers. They help us quantify, which means they help us get an idea about the quantity of something. So they help us quantify the quantity of a certain aspect. Now, it depends if that certain aspect is a count noun or a non-count noun. And that is how we determine which quantifier to use in which circumstance. I'm going to be reading out all of these examples and thereafter take it forward, explain what indefinite pronouns are and how do we use them. A couple of these examples with articles is the student, a university, and a bit of time. That case and those files are both determiners. This and these are also determiners. And whichever, either, and your decision over here is use of a pronoun. We're going to be looking at that. Now, all of these words, they help us identify what exactly is the context. Now, for example, most times when all of us are not using the right article, I always interrupt and tell all of you to use the right article. But the point is, if, for example, I'm going to be stating two sentences and I would want all of you to tell me what is the difference in the meaning. A student is waiting for you and the student that you called is waiting for you. Quickly, anyone?
The specific is any student.
Great. So that's exactly, thank you so much. That's exactly one of the primary purposes of understanding all of these expressions. What we are referring to, is it specific in nature or generic in nature? And sometimes all of these words are used to also denote quantity. I got just the pen that you asked me. Now over here, the pen is doing two functions, which is, it is talking about that specific pen and it is also talking about the as quantifier, the pen that you told me, which is obviously one because the is there with a singular noun. So that's exactly what the purpose is of all of these words. Yes, a lot of you, I know that this is a first class for a lot of you. However, okay, I'm not sure if this was told or not previously. It's a rolling batch. So all of you have just joined. And if you all are not able to catch up, please let me know. I would probably schedule a session to bring all of you. I mean, not one, but to bring all of you at the same pace. Moving forward, indefinite pronouns are also used as quantifiers. Now, there is a difference between a definite pronoun and an indefinite pronoun. All indefinite pronouns are those words that help us understand the quantity of something. Now, they can be divided. I have also added the subheading. The first one is quantifier. These are the ones we can use to quantify something, which is some, any, enough, several, many, and much. For all universals, we use all, both, every, and each. And now there are certain words that are known as partitives. Now, the function of partitives is that it allows you to partly choose also. It is not a blanket selection. It will also allow us to choose one out of the many that are available. For example, anyone can come in. Now, when I say anyone can come in, means out of the many, anyone can come. So one out of the many is allowed by the use of various partitives. Clear the differentiation between the usage of quantifiers, universals, and partitives?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes,
Anyone?
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone? Questions, doubts? Okay, I'm going to assume that that's a no and move forward. Various kinds of indefinite pronouns. I'm going to break it down a little more, add some more detail. Now, there are some words which are known as compound words. Any idea what are compound words?
Compound words means something, anyone, anybody, everybody, someone.
Okay. Anyone else?
A mixture of two words.
Yes, that's also very important. Understanding that it compound means that there are two aspects, two components. They have been compounded together, which is they've been joined together, and they can be used. Now, how are all of these used? For example, all of these quantifiers that we've seen have also a secondary or a latter aspect to it. There is neither and nor, there is none also. So all of these words can have a second aspect to it. Again, they may or may not have, depending upon the context. It's not absolutely necessary that for example, nobody is here. I'm just using a partitive to talk about the selection that I have a perspective of, that out of so many people, nobody is here. So compound pronouns are made up of two morphemes. And if I have to break that into simpler words, a morpheme is the simplest unit in a sentence. For example, in this sentence, I have to send the file. Now, all single elements, each word is a separate morpheme. I have to send the file. Each word is a separate morpheme. That means a morpheme cannot be subdivided into any other character. Moving forward, now all of the examples that I'm going to be giving are also some which are called as off pronouns. All of the envelopes are red. Now, off pronouns are those pronouns that same words that are used with an off later, they are called off pronouns. Now, all of these can be used with an off or without an off, depending upon the context. As soon as we add an off to it, the name changes, the nomenclature that is, and it becomes an off pronoun. I'm going to be reading out two examples. All of the envelopes are red. Many of the files were burnt. Questions here? Anyone till now? Excuse me. Anyone? Questions? Doubts?
Ma'am, off pronoun is not clear.
Okay, so Arushi, what happens is sometimes we can use the same words and add an off thereafter. Do you see all? Like all the cars are dirty. However, I can say all of the envelopes are red. So the only difference is with an off pronoun, you will use the same word. However, you will not use an article first. You will use a preposition first, and that makes it an off pronoun. Making sense now?
Yes, ma'am, getting it.
The structure is different. Okay.
Ma'am, please
Yes.
compound a pronoun.
That's exactly what we're looking at. This has made it compound. All and off, two, right? Many of the files were burnt, many and off, two aspects to it. Okay, to express when something is more than what is required or necessitated. There are three structures, again, very basic level, too followed by an adjective, too complicated, too much, which is too, over here, too much will be followed by a non-count noun, or it can also be used after a verb, which is non-count again. He has too much free time, he works too much. He has a lot, yeah, too much free time is inherently, yeah, he has too much of free time. I would add off here. Not sure why it's not there. Anyway, he has too much of free time and he works too much. Now, both of them, what's important to understand are verbs or nouns which cannot be counted. When I'm saying he works too much, yes, I can count the hours, of course, but I am essentially not talking about the time. The verb that I'm referring to is work. How much he works, there's no scale to that. So keeping that in mind, when there are things that absolutely cannot be quantified, we will use too much. However, too many will be followed by something plural in nature. There were too many people, can't say too many person. There were too many cars, too many pens in the bag, XYZ, too many followed by something plural always. Clear?
Ma'am, may I ask one question?
Please, please.
Ma'am, you said that we should have added off free time. What does the difference it make? What is the difference in meaning of adding off in that particular sentence?
Always too much of something. It's not too much what, it's too much of what. It's called a syntax. We always have to, there are always syntaxes with each verb, which preposition will follow, which will come successively. So all syntax have to be matched. So it's too much of something.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Moving forward, when something is not in the same proportion that is needed, which means it is definitely less or below the quantity that is desired. Not enough followed by a noun, they don't have enough people. Not followed by an adjective, followed by enough. Jeff isn't knowledgeable enough to handle this case right now, for example. Over here, this is not has a negation, isn't. The full form of the same isn't is not. So there has to be a negation, and then you use the adjective, which over here is knowledgeable. Post that, you add an enough, and thereafter, however the context of the sentence leads you forward. Moving forward to the next one, which is not followed by a verb, followed by enough. Sorry, not verb and then enough. They didn't study enough for the test. Again, the abbreviation has a negation. Add that negation, add the verb, which is in your bare infinitive form, study, and then add enough for the test. Something which is exactly the number that it is supposed to be. You only use enough. Now, a very frequent common error is the usage of not enough and enough. Not enough will only denote that it is less, whereas enough used alone will denote that it is exactly the amount which was desired. Enough followed by a noun, we have enough time to research. Adjective followed by enough is their lawyer is smart enough to know this. Verb followed by enough is Mr. Cohen exercises enough for his age. Questions, doubts? I'm going to assume that that's a no. Moving forward. Now, in case if we all see that there are certain sentences, I have used an infinitive in. For example, here, to know is an infinitive. To bring everyone on the same page quickly, infinitive is a to followed by the verb. To read, to write, to sit, to speak, to listen, all of these are called infinitives. Now, all of these words can be easily used with infinitives also. An example, Jeff is too tired to respond to those emails right now. Is it too much to ask for? Now, keep in mind, if you're using to post that, and if you're using a verb, keep in mind if it is a count or a non-count noun. You cannot use too much with something that it does not correlate with. There always has to be an agreement. Too many cars to be serviced. There are too many cars to be serviced. And the next is enough. Patrick has researched enough to ensure that there is no other option. In all of these sentences, I have ensured an addition of an infinitive. Now, indefinite pronouns do not refer to any particular person, place, or thing. But obvious, like the name suggests, it's indefinite. And everything which is indefinite in nature cannot be specific, like indefinite articles. Similarly, an indefinite pronoun, excuse me, as well. Now, in the English language, there are various groups of pronouns. There can be something which is a definite, something which is an indefinite. For now, we're looking at indefinite pronouns. Now, to denote an indefinite pronoun for a person, it's always everyone and everybody. The column on extreme left talks about the ratio or the periphery of inclusion. If the periphery of inclusion is it's high, that means it includes everyone, then these are the phrases for a person, for a place, and a thing respectively. Everyone, everybody, everywhere, and everything. Now, if we decrease the periphery of inclusion, however, it is positive in nature, not negative. Now, when I'm saying positive and negative, the connotation that I would want all of you to withdraw out of this is, when I'm saying negative, it can literally be any. So send anyone. Over here, it literally does not mean a negative, a negation, which is a never or a no. It means that I am not fixed or fixated actually upon an idea or a person or a thing, and I specifically want that. When I have probably a better idea is when I use part positive. An absolute no idea is part negative. Someone, excuse me, someone and somebody for person, somewhere for place, and something for thing respectively. Anyone, anybody, anywhere, and anything respectively when the case is part negative. And the last for none is no one, nobody, nowhere, and nothing. All of these indefinite pronouns are used to describe, to add detail to various quantities depending upon that particular context. Indefinite pronouns, again, are always placed in the same location in the sentence where a noun would go. Please do not change the position, because a lot of times when some of you are using these expressions, if you change the position of where you place it, the sentence also is incorrect nevertheless. I would like to, for example, I would like to go to Spain this winter. The next is, Patrick gave me this document. I won't share the details of this case with Jane, and I sent all the files to him. Over here, I have replaced the noun with a pronoun. I would like to go somewhere this winter. Over here, the noun is Spain, which is a proper noun. I've used somewhere. Again, please keep it in mind that I have used the indefinite pronoun at exactly the same place where I would use a noun. Patrick gave me this document is someone. I won't share the details of this case with Jane. I won't share the details of this case with anyone. And I sent all the files to him. I sent everything to him. Again, because of the fact that it is a pronoun, you cannot use a noun after that. You cannot say, I would like to go somewhere, Italy this winter. Because of the fact that it is a pronoun, it cannot be followed by a noun. Please keep that in mind. Absolutely incorrect. Before I start with affirmative, questions till now, till here, anyone? Excuse me.
Excuse you, ma'am.
Yes, Arushi, tell me.
Ma'am, can you please repeat infinitive? Like to is followed by what?
1 second. I will explain it quickly in the chat box. Okay. An infinitive is a base form of the verb, any verb. For example, I'm just to explain, add more detail, I'm going to use the word to listen, okay? Now, the bare infinitive of the word, the bare infinitive of the same infinitive is just the word listen. Now, an infinitive, you can create an infinitive by just adding the particle to TO here, it's not a preposition, it's a particle. TO followed by the verb. To listen, to speak, to eat, to talk, all of these, all verbs followed by a to is the base form of any verb. From here, we derive all the verbs. An infinitive is from where we derive all the verbs and change them according to what and how we need. The infinitive is to listen, bare infinitive is listen. Verb 1 is listen, verb 2 is listened, and verb 3 is listened. So, and present participle listening, past participle listened. So all of these inflections come from an infinitive. There has to be a base form of the verb from where you derive, or you can change all these forms. But this is the natural form of the verb. Making sense now? Arushi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Understood, ma'am.
Great. Anyone
Ma'am?
else? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to know whether the example I would like to go somewhere in Italy this month is correct or not. In Italy, somewhere in Italy, like not
would-
pointing a place.
Once again, Vidya, the sentence again, please.
I would like, there is an example in this indefinite pronoun. I would like to go to somewhere this winter. Rather than using somewhere in this somewhere, can I use somewhere in Italy this winter? You said we can't use somewhere and a noun. Whether in could be added in between.
Yes, if you break the chain. Also, another thing, Vidya, you do not have a to here. When you're saying that, you're saying, I would like to go to somewhere. You cannot use to prior to an indefinite pronoun here in some. Now,
Okay.
for somewhere, if you break it with a preposition, then of course you can add a noun. It cannot come directly after this because it's a pronoun.
Okay,
It needs
thank you.
function. Yeah. Anyone else? Questions, doubts?
Ma'am, in the sentence, I sent everything to him. Can't we write it as I sent every files to him? I mean, like, will it be wrong?
Yes. Number one, every is always used with something plural. I sent each and every file, every document. That's number one. Everything is a compound. Remember compound? Okay. To break it and make it simpler, let's understand what a compound is. Every plus thing. Actually, let me give a better example. Okay, let's look at these words that I've sent in the chat box. Up to date. Now, if I change this to this, up to becomes a compound adjective. This is a compound word. Now, how are all of these things formed? Individually, they will mean something else. For example, every means something else and thing means something else. When you join them, they are used to create an altogether new meaning. So again, because of that, you cannot follow it up with a noun. Making sense? Okay. Anyone else? Questions, doubts? I'm going to assume.
Can you say I sent every files to him?
No, you can't. That's what I just explained. You can't. Every file, but then that every file is two different words. It's not compound. Okay, before I move forward, I would want everyone to try and send me sentences. Let's start with quantifiers, which again, I haven't explained individually the difference of all of this, because all of these words, because I'm sure all of us understand. However, if you do not know, what do you use after, for example, if you use a singular noun or a plural noun, please feel free to ask. And sentences with quantifiers, thereafter we move to universals and partitives post that. Okay, I want everyone to give me a sentence with any. Okay, a couple of sentences that I saw previously right in the beginning. You can, now please keep this in mind. Any will be followed by something singular. Any of will be followed by something plural. Making sense, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So everyone who gave me a sentence, any followed by something plural, it's incorrect. Okay, I've gone through these sentences. Document. Dashi, are there any pencils in the box is completely incorrect. One, when you do not have an idea of something's existence, you always question in singular. Is there any pencil in the box? Not are there. Because you don't know the existence of one, you can't straight away question the existence of many. So when you have no idea, for example, if you need to ask someone where if there is a meeting room, so you can't say are there meeting rooms in this building, it will always be is there a meeting room. The questioning existence is always in singular. I completed this assignment. Puja, auxiliary verb needed before give in your sentence. The sentences that, apart from any, because there was incorrect singular plural, I'm not correcting those because I've just explained it. However, the ones I'm skipping now, that means your sentence is correct. Please continue to send sentences with universals as well.
Please, may I ask it out?
Please.
Ma'am, I've written a sentence like any student can be the monitor. Is it okay if I'm going to use off? So any of the students can be the monitor?
No, because monitor is essentially one, right?
Okay. So any of the students. Okay.
Because see, any of the students cannot be a monitor because out of all the students, there'll be one monitor, right?
Getting.
What is your final objective? How many people can be the monitors?
It's singular, but if
Singular.
I'm.
So if you say monitors, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Clear.
For example, for grade 8, we need 10 monitors. Any of the students can be chosen. Making sense?
Yes.
Great. I don't have any study material. Do you have any idea? Kirat, can't use anyone like this. Anyone know the answer is incorrect. Paraphrase the question, please. As the grammar book. Tanuja, same. Can't start questions like that. Can take any book from the shelf. I would accept any color. Anyone can take this session. We can refer. Ashi, it's always referred to something. It's going to be read in one day. Dipani, incorrect. I like to buy any dress. I'm not too sure as to what was it that you wanted to communicate, but yeah, incorrect. I have enough material to study today. Okay, yes, Dipani, go ahead.
Ma'am, I can't understand it, ma'am.
Okay. I like to buy any dress is incorrect. You can say, I would like to buy a dress. I would like to buy any dress that I like, but some context. Making sense?
Yes, got it. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay. I think a few sentences ago, I saw a sentence wherein material was used in plural. Can't do that. When you're again referring to enough material to study, not materials in that sense. This one is correct because it's singular. Would turn out black. Makran, sentence is correct, however, lacks a lot of coherence. I mean, when I read the sentence, I'm not able to understand what exactly you're trying to communicate. Any kind of mischief is not allowed in the premises. Mahesh, we can't assign work to anyone. Give you any more. She cannot give you any more. Vipul, add some context. Again, coherence to any book you find relevant to your module. This is the manual. Missed your call. Any work today? She's enough time to prepare for the exams. Many of them have left the room by enough to eat. No, Kiran, incorrect. There is enough food here to eat, not our. Some of these guys were there in the party. Time with me. Shouldn't take them, there's enough space. Prerna, there's enough space for everyone to sleep. Not enough space to sleep to everyone. There's much scope for your growth. It's too much. Mithilesh, okay, quick question. What's the verb form we use with anyone and someone? A very, very common frequent error that I'm seeing again and again.
Ma'am, singular?
First person, second person, third person. Which singular?
And third person.
Great, great. Thank you. So, whichever in, okay, again, I'm going to explain this in detail. In present tense, whichever verb form you use with he, she, it, you will use the same with anyone, someone, nobody, all of these. For example, she sleeps for 8 hours. Somebody has been, wait, let me give you another example. I think someone writes a letter to me every month. Someone writes, he writes a letter to me every month. So whichever verb form in present tense you're using for he, she, it, you will use the same for someone, not any other verb form. Always third person singular will be used. May I have some information about?
Ma'am, one question. Just like we use his, her with he or he and she, then what should be the correct one with someone?
Someone's car, his car, someone's car. Put an apostrophe S. That's it. Someone's bag. Was that the question, Praveen? Did I understand it correctly?
Ma'am, maybe no idea. I'm saying just like we use his for he, her for she. So what should we use for someone and anybody like these subjects?
Apostrophe S. That's it. Nothing else. Just an
Okay.
apostrophe S.
Ma'am, can you write one sentence, please?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Praveen, careful about articles. I was just going to talk about your sentence. May I have some information about which classes? Some classes, right? About the classes, a common noun, French classes, something, a proper noun, anything. All of us are going to go. They all went to the party. All the answers are correct. Enough books. Someone has to own my book. Okay, all of you go for Arushi article. All of you go for campaign in this. Paraphrase this, please.
Sure, ma'am.
Due to Prerna article again due to dash drought. Both we can go to. No. Tanuja, you can't use both and we together. If we is a subject pronoun which does an action, both will be followed by an object pronoun always. Both of us can go together. Okay, please keep it in mind. You may refer.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. You may refer. Mahesh, refer to. Always refer to something. You can't refer something. You may refer. Praveen, anybody can participate, not participating there. All of these students have to complete the assignment. This is tomorrow. So should attend the meeting. I'm going to scroll down meanwhile. Please start sentences with only the first category, which is something is more than we want or we need. Pooja, spelling of residential is incorrect. Sentence is correct. We might allow enough time to read books. By Prerna, auxiliary verb needed before hit in your sentence. Both families hit. Both these subjects are my favorite. for you yet. Protest. Some of you can go through the study material chambers, but I couldn't find any lawyers. Gabriel, any of, I hope it's clear. If not, please let me know, because your sentence here has a mistake. You looked in the chambers, all you should leave. Every day is a good day. Each one of you have come to Delhi. This is unique. Question each and every student. This is Reshma. Each and every student has, because again, you will use third person singular. He has, each and every student has.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Each party need to be present. Akshada, each party needs to be present, not need there. Every student in this class is coming up with a sentence. For you, one with some qualities within them, they can't share information. Mahesh, can't share information with. They can't share info. As they've signed the NDA, they can't share the information with anybody. Each of them. Kiran, each of them is good enough. He is, she is, each of them is. Each student must be present. Prerna, each student must be present for tomorrow's meeting. Again, tomorrow's spelling, please. Everybody is unique. Each and every life is important. Each of you will take part in the competition. You can read any books. Sasanka Jyoti, each of them, each of the child yesterday was happy, not were. Food to eat, every subjects need to be, no, Vandana, every subject needs to be studied with, needs to be studied, DIED. So a lost, a long dispute means that both parties are wrong. As you said, is each of the things you said. Okay, if you're using each of, using a plural noun, then you also need to make sure that the verb that you're using thereafter is also in agreement. Each of the things that you said are, not is. I don't have much idea about this. Either you come to my place or book a hotel room. I've been there several times. Someone's calling you. Each painting has a story. Anyone. Vandana, I think you've added an extra one, but you can't use that. I think I've explained that. Problem has a solution. Anybody wants to grasp. This year, so many people are going to write this exam. Some of the apples, please give me either tea or coffee. I like both of them. Poonam, article with the sentence, please, before class. Can someone please tell me the address? Sing better than anybody else in a class. You can only take either, no, you can only take either a cup of tea or no. Vandana, you can either take a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, not only and then either. Or you can only take a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, only or. Can't use only and either together. All of you go for the campaign. Arushi, in this sentence, see, if you want to, okay, perspective, is that an advice, suggestion, or an obligation?
Ma'am, in which sentence?
All of you go for the campaign. 10:07 is the timestamp.
Ma'am, it's like a teacher saying to the students, please, all of you go for this campaign.
Okay, my question is it an order, like all of you have to go, or is it a request that, like you said, please, what is it?
It's an order.
Then you need to add must. All of you must go for the campaign.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Neither Kit nor Colin is coming to the party. Nobody's going to leave the class tomorrow. Neither of them will. Neither of them are going to listen to you, Vandana. Anyone can join the party. I'm going to interact with both of them. I don't say anybody anything. What? Sampa, what do you want to express? Don't say anybody anything, whatever I told you. Nobody wants to leave the meeting. I met each of the children. It's too much. Solve because no one's going to do this. To handle information. Okay, meanwhile that I'm going through too much and too many, if we can quickly start with not enough when something is less than desired, necessitated. Enough money to buy, excuse me. Pooja, incorrect verb. There were too much gathering in the meeting, incorrect. You've taken too much chances to complete the game. No, Poonam, incorrect, much and many. It's too good to be true. He too believes in. Dipali, very, very common error. A lot of people, I'm not sure, maybe in Hindi, the first language, maybe to can be used in a very like a synonym with also, but you can't do that in English. He too believes in spirituality. No, he also believes in spirituality. Too much tired today. No. Okay. The difference between too much and very, everyone. What's the difference between very and too much? Where do we use too much?
I think we use too much for uncountable nouns.
Uncounts.
Mm-hmm.
And very in counts.
Very in count. Like I can say there are very cars on the street.
No, wrong.
Ma'am, very is used with an adjective.
Give me an example, Ashi.
Like, this is a very good book.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Anything else? Where else?
It comes before an adjective. Very comes before an adjective.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, too much means negative meaning, like you are eating too much sugar.
Mm-hmm. Dipani, almost yes. Again, focus on the word almost. Indeed, something to add here, you cannot use the word to with something which has a negative connotation. I think one of the biggest and the best example that I can use here to explain. 1 second. Okay, I'm going to write a sentence in the chat box and I want all of you to tell me if you think it's correct or incorrect.
It's correct.
You may unmute yourself and tell me, or just write down correct, incorrect.
Correct.
Okay.
I think it's incorrect.
Thank you, Vandana.
Ma'am, I think it is incorrect as well.
Thank you.
Incorrect, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Incorrect, ma'am.
Thank you.
I think we should use very instead of to here.
I will come to that, Vandana. Okay, for everyone who has sent or said that it is correct, it's actually incorrect, because to you cannot use. Number one, you can use to with something which has a negative connotation, but not something which has a positive connotation. That's one. Number two, the fact that it's used as an adjective, you switch to a very and not use a to. Clear, everyone?
It's clear.
Questions, doubts? Great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Let's continue with less than necessitated, not enough, followed by noun. The same with adjective and verb. Quickly, please. Team, I don't have enough time. He had too many sweets in the party. Arushi, this sentence, he had too many sweets in the party, is correct because it has a negative connotation that he should not have. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Ajit, do you have a question?
No, ma'am, sorry, by mistake.
All right. Some too many clothes for Sampa, for washing or for laundry, not for wash. Each and every student in this sentence, which is there are too many clothes for wash today. Each and every student is listening to the lecture. There's not enough space to place this bag in the car. Too many people. She's wearing no. Tanuja, incorrect. Too much short dress is incorrect. What is short? How would you, if I have to ask you, Tanuja, about identifying the word short, what is it? Which category would you place it in? Is it a noun? Is it a pronoun, adjective, an adverb, a preposition? What is it? Skin texture is. Arushi, her skin texture is too smooth. Do you feel that it has anything negative in it?
No, ma'am. We can't use it.
Great.
Yes.
Plus, the fact smooth is an adjective here, right?
Right, ma'am. We can use her skin texture. It's too coarse or something like that.
Too coarse? Yeah. C-O-A-R-S-E, right? Coarse.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So good is correct, ma'am. He's so good.
No, Mithilesh, once again.
Instead of to, you can use so great.
Very, very.
Very great. So is, can you use so, ma'am?
No. Extremely, really, very, all of these intensifiers can be used. With an adjective, you use an intensifier. That's the rule. And again, I will be covering more about adjectives and intensifiers as we go forward. Too many things to do in Manali. He's too arrogant to accept his mistake. You're too weak to participate in competition. You have too many clothes to wear. As there were too many people in the party, there are too many subjects to learn. It's too much of sugar in my tea. He has enough time to prepare. She's brave enough to sue her boss. All of us can go together. Someone is already. Mithilesh, coherence. All of us can go together. Someone's already waiting each of us. Yes, paraphrase, please. You have too many friends to talk. Vivek, to talk with something. It's too cold. Too many books in the library. Darshi, if the intention of the sentence is that the library is really dirty because there are too many books, the sentence is correct. However, any other perspective without a negative connotation, no. She drinks too much coffee and tea. We have too many files on a good room. There's not enough food left. Not enough. No. What is Vivek, we have not enough food left is incorrect. We have to. No, Ravikant. Number one, with a he, you use a has. Okay, have and has in present tense, like I stated the previous rule, okay? That with he, she, it, in present tense, there will always be an S. He sleeps, she writes, I speak, he speaks, right? With a he, there is an S. Similarly, with have and has, with a he, have will change to something which has an S, again, like the word has. So he has too many books, not too much. They don't give enough salary, have too much to read. There's it's too much noise. Much noise around here. Dhanyeshwari, I'm not too sure as to why you added just there, but okay. We might to search too many files to might to search too many files to find. We might have to search, Mahesh. Was that the sentence? Essentially, there are several varieties of chocolates. Too much of my time. There's not enough space here. He has to listen too much in the class.
What you said?
Mahesh, the sentence that you had sent, one of the sentences, I mean, we might to search too many files to find information.
Yeah.
Auxiliary, might have to.
Okay. Okay.
Information to write an article. There was not enough food for Vidya. There was not enough food for the guest or the guests, depending upon whatever it is. The context perspective, there's not enough. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, this is Vivek. I think this is the second or the third time, similar mistake. When you have a negative sentence with a have, I don't have, you don't say I have not. I have 5 pens, I don't have 5 pens. It's never I have not 5 pens. Clear? I hope, Vivek, you've understood this. So not enough. Darshi, this much of sweets are not enough is incorrect. I have not enough time to make this document. Pooja, I don't have enough time to make this document. Not enough time. The information was not enough to solve the case. We don't have enough money to buy fruits right now. The food was not enough for the entire assembly. There was not enough water in the bucket to pour. There's too much milk in the pot. We can't believe enough on advertisements. On this is very important. I have enough time to reach. Poonam, some article needed before office. She's enough books in her house. That dish was. Of. Need to go about this. Have to search. Doesn't have. There. Okay, Dashi, can you count the sweets or no? Are they tangible? Can count. Okay. So what do you use with the count noun? Okay, questions till now, till here, I've gone through these sentences. Anyone question about everything that we've seen till now?
Can you tell
Excuse me,
me?
ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
One by one, please.
Could you tell me difference between so and to?
I will, Mithilesh. I'm going to be covering it probably on Sunday because yes, it is a part of this document itself, but I'm not going to cover it today. Any question, doubts with what
Excuse me,
I've
ma'am.
already done? Yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. I have a doubt. I have enough materials to read. Why material, not materials?
Material when it comes to information, because information cannot be plural. The antecedent of the word material is anything pertaining to information, you can't make it plural.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else? Question?
Ma'am, difference between to and very.
TOO and very.
Yes, ma'am.
1 second. I'm just going to make a note of this to and very, and I think the other one's already in the document.
So good is right, ma'am. So good, so cute. So bad is
It
good.
is, but so good can be used only as an exclamation alone, not in the middle of a sentence. There is a reason for it. For example, you ask me, how was it? I would say, yeah, it was, I can't say it was so good. But if I have to continue that sentence, add more detail, I can't add only so there. I need another quantifier or an intensifier with it. There are certain syntaxes. Like I said, I will cover it up in the next class, not now. Ashi, yours was to and very, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Anyone else? Question?
Ma'am, what is intensifier you right now said?
Intensifiers are those words that help us intensify, add emphasis to a certain feeling. For example, this is really good. Really is making good look better, right? It's intensifying the emotion of the word good.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Question, doubt with anything that we've done, anything that we've seen till now? Sampa, it was not enough information can prove this matter. Sentence is incorrect. If you can explain what is it that you want to enunciate, I can help structure the sentence. Anyone else? Questions, doubts? Okay, I'm going to assume that that's a no. We'll wrap up for today. I will see all of you on Friday, same time, 9:30, and take it forward from there. Thank you so much. Dipali, all these documents
Thank
are
you,
on
ma'am.
LMS. Yeah, so you should be able to access it there. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Have a good evening.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.